Hello everyone, it's Sandra and welcome to today's video. I wanted to just do an old-fashioned get ready with me video, and I'll be playing with some new makeup as well as trusted summer favorites. It is so hot outside today. It's a hot and humid summer day. So this is a hot and humid summer makeup routine. My SPF is on and I did put my primer on. I used the Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA Pore Smooth Blur Drops. This is a cool product. I talked about this in my empties and new products video. It's like a makeup primer, or you can also use it as part of your skincare routine. And this definitely helps keep my oil production a bit more regulated in the T-zone. The only thing is that my skin can be quite sensitive to BHA, so I can't use this every single day. I can only use like an acid product, whether it's AHA or BHA, 2 to 3 times a week. If I use this too many days in a row, my skin starts to get aggravated because I use tretinoin every night. Do you need to know all this information? Probably not, but I thought I would kind of explain myself. I know people that love this and they use this daily and they don't have any issues. I'm going to use a little bit of Auric Glow Lust today. I feel like this is such a throwback. I haven't featured this on my channel in a while, but it's still something that I really enjoy. I use this in the shade Pyrite, which is incredible. It's got like the perfect undertone for my skin tone. It's like a slight olive undertone, and just look at the glow that it gives. It just gives such a flattering glow. So I'm just using this kind of on the high points of the face, avoiding my T-zone. Such a gorgeous product, and if you've always wanted to try it but maybe you've been intimidated by the large bottle or by the price point, there is now a smaller mini that you can get, which I think is really, really nice. For my actual foundation, I'm torn between these two. These two are my usual go-tos for hot and humid summer days because these have more of a satin matte finish and they wear beautifully on my skin throughout the day. So depending on the level of coverage, I will either do the Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation if I want a more medium coverage, or the Fenty Skin Tint if I want lighter coverage. And I'm actually almost out of this, so maybe I'll just use this. I use this in shade 6, and I usually like to spread this with fingers. I'm just really melting it into the skin. It's like one of the best, it's one of the best shade matches I've ever found, to be honest. Under my eyes, I'm just doing my usual sisley corrector. Honestly, on most days, if I'm feeling really minimal and if I've had enough sleep, I can just get away with using this alone. When it's really hot and humid outside, sometimes I just want like the least amount of product on my skin as possible in the thinnest possible layers. I do have a couple of areas that need a tiny little bit more coverage, so I'm just going to dot my Givenchy Prisme Libre Concealer. This concealer is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It's got like the most beautiful, blurred, slightly luminous finish, but not greasy, not heavy, not sticky. It just wears beautifully on the skin. I am so happy with this product. It just kind of does everything I want a complexion product to do, to be honest. This has been one of my favorite beauty discoveries this year. I did a video in which I just used this as part of my foundation routine, and I didn't use a foundation. This was my foundation, and some of you very kindly said that this was the best my base has ever looked. There's definitely something special about this. I'm just using my Givenchy powder to set my under eyes. Did Wayne Goss stop making brushes? Because I have not been able to find this brush in stock for a long time. And this is the Jones Road Gel Bronzer. This is really nice. Is this a must-have? Absolutely not. Is this a nice-to-have? Yes. In terms of what I have in my collection, this is most similar to the Chantecaille bronzing tint. They accomplish a very, very similar role in my routine. It's the type of product that you can use before you put on your foundation, or if you're doing no foundation, you just want like a slight bronzy glow all over the face. Maybe your body is a lot more tan than your face and you just kind of want to even things out. Or if you want to mix this in with your foundation to add a little bit of warmth to your foundation, or if you want to mix this with your moisturizer. It's like a multi-use product, or you can also just use this as a bronzer in the way that you would use a regular bronzer. It's really, really nice. I have this in shade light. This comes in 3 different shades, light, medium, and dark. The Chantecaille bronzing tint only comes in 1 shade, and you can see here, the Chantecaille just has a hint of that peachy orange. The Jones Road still leans warm, but it's more neutral. So you can see here, the Chantecaille versus the Jones Road. They both feel very similar on the skin once they're blended out. They almost have like a slight cooling effect. I'd say like the Chantecaille texture is ever so slightly more elegant, ever so slightly more luxurious, but once you get the product on the skin and as it just wears throughout the day, I honestly can't really tell a difference in terms of performance. They both perform equally as well on my skin. But the packaging of the Chantecaille is a bit messy. The undertones, the fact that there's only 1 shade, whereas the Jones Road, the packaging is a bit more user-friendly and you get more shade options. So that's always nice. So I'm just going to use this as a traditional bronzer. I'll put some on the back of my hand. You can also put this on straight up on your face, but I just don't like to do that. I always like to work it into the brush first and then stipple it on. It's very sheer. It's almost like a watercolor. Think of it as like if you were to do a watercolor bronzer on yourself. Lightweight, cooling gel texture. It's very nice. It doesn't feel like greasy or oily or heavy at all. It's completely weightless on my face, I'd say. So as you can see, I was able to just blend this out, get this super, super sheer, and just get a very, very soft, natural skin look. It doesn't really look like I'm wearing bronzer, but it looks like I just have like a hint of like a natural sun-kissed glow. If you are somebody that's into very minimal makeup, you like makeup that's undetectable, would not wear this with a more full coverage foundation. I wouldn't use this with like a medium coverage foundation. It kind of loses that effect. It loses its magic. I think this performs best with a very minimal base. I will add just a bit more powder now, powdering kind of the rest of my face now that the bronzer is on, because the blush that I'm using is going to be a powder blush. So just I'm using my Makeup Forever matte powder on my trusty little Amazon powder puff. For eyebrows, I did end up buying the Benefit brow wax. It just gives me that look that I want. It gives me that fluffy brow look. I really like this without being crunchy or crusty. I go in with a coat of the Kosas brow gel for more volume and for a tint. Very unnecessary to layer these, but for me, it's just what works for me. Moving on to blush, I was so excited when Surratt reached out and offered to send me PR. I have been a fan of the brand. I've been a customer of the brand for so many years. They asked me if I wanted to try anything, and the first thing that came to mind was Barbe et Papa. I'm not sure, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but this blush, they very kindly ended up sending me enough products to fill this gorgeous palette. One of the things that I really like about the Surratt brand is that you can customize things, their eyeshadows and blushes interchangeably in these palettes. So for example, before this, I had built my own little Surratt quad with, 4 eyeshadows, but I can take out 2 of the eyeshadows and put like 2 eyeshadows and a blush. Everything can you can kind of mix and match things. So this is the smaller quad, and then they sent me the larger palette, which fits 3 blushes or 2 blushes and 2 eyeshadows. So here's kind of the difference in the way things are constructed. So they ended up sending me the Barbe et Papa blush, which is the blush that I was interested in. Then they also sent me this other blush, which is called, oh my gosh, what is it called? I have to pop it out because I can't remember. Cherubique. It's this really beautiful peachy shade. It's a gorgeous like sun-kissed peach with the most beautiful sheen running through it. And same with the Barbe et Papa shade. It's like this, you can see the sheen. These are the types of blushes that you definitely don't need a highlighter with. It's like built-in highlighter, but it's not chunky. It's still very refined and beautiful on the cheeks. And then the two eyeshadows they had sent me are called Ingenue, which is this beautiful, like a pink champagne, and then a ravissante, which is this beautiful lavender. These are so pretty. These will be so nice in the spring. I think I'm actually going to mix Barbe et Papa and Cherubique today. I think that would be a fun look. So let's start with Barbe et Papa. I am such a fan of these powders. The eyeshadow powders, the blush powders, they are very refined. And now let's layer Cherubique for some warmth. What more can you want from a summer blush? I'm definitely going overboard. I'm over blushing, but I just wanted to show you these tones. And then whatever's left over on the brush, I like to use on my eyelids. Let's kick it old school. This is Urban Decay Naked Reloaded. And even though I only use like the predictable basic shades from this palette, it's still a really lovely, easy summer palette. I'm not really doing much here. I'm just very messily defining my crease. Let's do the pale surratt color Ingenue, I think this is called. I'm just going to use this as a topper almost. Quick little spritz with the Charlotte Tilbury spray. This always just does such a nice job at melting everything together, and I may look a little bit more shiny on camera than I do in real life. The sun is behind a cloud, so I had to amp up my artificial lighting, but I can assure you that this looks so good in real life. It just looks fresh. It's fresh. We've got a little bit of a glow, but it's not greasy, it's not heavy. My face feels like there's nothing on it. And it's the perfect type of makeup for this type of weather. Yeah, everything just sits really, really nicely on my skin, which makes me very happy. For my mascara, this is an oldie but goodie. I recently repurchased this, the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. This is just a really nice everyday mascara. It's a good lifting and lengthening mascara. And there's nothing bad to say about it. It's lovely. I tend to gravitate more towards lengthening, separating mascaras in the summertime. And I still want to try that L'Oreal telescopic, the one that had the whole Michaela controversy. I have not tried that yet, but I really want to try it, so I might get that next. I just really like the way this mascara lifts my lashes, and I find that this holds my curl all day. Finally, for the lip combo, I have a new lip liner find. It's been the year of amazing lip liners for me. This is by Farah Homidi. Farah Homidi is a New York-based makeup artist. She's very renowned for her technique, and she's very into minimal. She has a very minimalist style of makeup. She does a lot of runway shows, and she launched her own makeup brand this year. Wants it to be like a slow beauty brand, so There are just a handful of products in the range focused on lips. She has these really gorgeous lip palettes. They're so expensive though. And then lip liners. This is one of the nude lip liners in the range, and it's in the shade Minky, and it's just the perfect brown. It is very similar to the other lip liners that I love, namely Victoria Beckham 02 and Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine. I swatched them all here for you so you get a better idea. The Farrah Homidi is most similar to the Victoria Beckham, but maybe a hint warmer. And the formula of the Farrah Homidi is a little bit more creamy and a little bit more long wearing than the Victoria Beckham. So this is Farrah Homidi Minky, this is Makeup Forever Anywhere Caffeine, and this is Victoria Beckham 02. Do you need all three? Absolutely not. But if you are a lip liner junkie like I am, this is really nice, and the formula is delightful. It's that classic wood pencil, but it's not dry. It's got this beautiful creamy formula. But it's not too creamy and too melty. It's like that perfect Goldilocks lip liner formula. So that added creaminess makes it easy to smudge, so you can create that like soft contour, soft definition on the lips. And then for the actual lip color, I'm using the Make Beauty lip balm. This is the Serum Balm Intense. They have two different versions of this product. There's the traditional serum balm, which is very sheer, and then there's a Serum Balm Intense, which is a bit more pigmented. It's essentially a liquid lip balm that's tinted, and it's actually so nourishing on the lips. The texture is beautiful, and this is the shade Anti-Gravity, which is a gorgeous neutral. I have to thank Becca Sun because she is the one that enabled me to try this. Last year when we hung out, she gave me one and I fell in love with the formula. And then she mentioned that her favorite nude shade is Anti-Gravity. So I got to try it and I love it. It's so good. It's like the perfect everyday nude, really. It has like a slight sweet taste, but it doesn't have there's no discernible flavor or fragrance to it whatsoever. And that's it. That's the finished look. Hot weather, summer approved, glowing, slightly glamorous, but still daytime appropriate. I would wear this to work. I would wear this to run errands. I would wear this out to dinner. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Let me know what new makeup you've been loving or old favorites that you've been rediscovering. I'm always so inspired by your suggestions. I'm always so inspired by your recommendations, whether it's to mix a couple products or a new lip combination, a new blush combination. It always inspires me to either check out something new that I haven't considered before, or just to shop my stash and play with what I already have. I'm always so grateful to have this community of fellow beauty lovers and just this creative outlet. And I think it's so important in life, no matter what we do in our careers, no matter where life takes us, I think it's important to have a creative outlet. And for me, makeup and beauty has been that creative outlet, and it's something that I'm always so grateful to have, and it's always something that brings me so much joy. And it brings me even more joy that I get to actually connect with like-minded individuals and build these relationships and friendships online. I think it's such a wonderful thing about this community. So I'm certainly very, very grateful for it. I'm very grateful that you trust my recommendations and that you value my opinions. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!